the black community, look, they have their own struggles. Okay, and I've listened to a lot of podcasts that are usually, I don't know why, but a lot of podcasts I do listen to, they're by the black people, and when I listen to them, when I hear things like, we have to be, there's when they say things, there's nothing wrong with asking for things, for asking for things for the black community, right? For our community. When they say these things, they have a real sense of ownership. I can feel the real sense of ownership of within their community, right? And they're trying to make sure that their community steps up in America, right? Gets better in different aspects, in different qualities of life. And I think that's awesome, right? And they have their own struggles, right? In America, the black community in America most definitely have their own struggles, right? Especially with the justice system, police brutality. There are these issues. And again, if you're an Asian American and you're there being an ally, supporting, voicing, highlighting, more power to you. We need people like you, okay? People like you that do that, it's a good thing. All right? So, again, this is personally for me. I have no problem with people that do that are about that life, right? Because many times when you see people who are about that life, chances are they're going to stay kind of silent when it comes to Asian-related issues. I'm not mad at that. When our left-leaning Asian liberal brothers and sisters, when they stay silent in certain issues facing the Asian American community, but they voice their opinions really loudly and champion for the black community, I'm not mad at that, right? Because that's their calling. That's their lane. And that's what they want to do, and that's what their focus is. Again, more power to you. That's a good thing. Okay? Personally, I'm not mad at that. Okay? It becomes a problem. It becomes a problem when they start pointing fingers back to their own community for anti-blackness and you gotta do better and just being so anti-Asian, like you hate your people so much. When I see that kind of stuff, that's when there's a problem. But without that, no problem, right? Without that, no problem. Guys, the black community has their own struggles, okay? The black community needs our support too, absolutely. And we should be allies with them. But here's the thing. Don't get mixed up with the black community struggle and the Asian American experience. Don't get mixed up. These are two different things. Yes, they have certain similarities. Yes, they are intertwined in certain ways, but in the large picture of things, they're different paths. They're different lanes. And when you're being pro-Asian and when you're speaking about the Asian American community needs, okay, you're speaking about exactly the Asian American community needs. Okay, what am I trying to say here? Guys, fighting for Asian American voice. Guys, championing for Asian Americans and being pro-Asian and highlighting our stories and our issues and our needs, right? Doesn't mean you're ignoring black communities' needs and their stories and their community issues, right? Doesn't mean you're ignoring it. It just means you're being about your people. And when you're being about your people in America, there's nothing wrong with that. When the Latin community fights for issues within their community and their needs, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? You can't call them out and say, hey, look, my Latin friends, right? Latin American friends, why aren't you speaking about Asian American issues? I'm never going to say that. Now, I know people that do that. That's not me. Personally, okay? If there's going to be anybody who's going to speak up about Asian American issues, it's got to start with Asian Americans. I'm not leaning on the black community. I'm not leaning on the white community, the Jews, the Hispanics. I'm not waiting for them to say, hey, look, shouldn't Asian Americans get some more love? No, guys. No. Okay? It starts with us. Asian Americans have to understand why we're being targeted. Okay, we have to understand what our issues are, and we have to understand how we can do better within our community. Look, and this is something that and that I remember having this conversation with someone. Some of you may be conflicted, right? Some of you may be conflicted, right? And this confliction comes from, look, should I, be more about my community? But isn't the black community more oppressed than the Asian community? Guys, that thinking right there is wrong. You shouldn't be. This isn't the oppression ladder here. Okay, we're the victimhood ladder. We're not playing that game. Asian Americans, guys, we're not playing that game. Okay, Asian Americans, we have our own lane in this country. We have our own issues in this country. And if you're Asian American and you don't voice it, you don't highlight the certain things that goes on within our community, don't expect the other communities to do so. Okay, the way I see it, we have to be the ones that started first, and then the others, there will be allies along the way. It'll come naturally. We don't got to go around begging for it. I see so many posts saying, oh, I can't believe the Asian American community has to go around begging for support and educating and teaching. Listen, stop that. All right? Stop doing that. Allies will come naturally as we voice, as we gain more power, okay, as we build coalitions, as we come together more, all right, as we organize more, people will see, and allies will come slowly, left and right. But you gotta have that foundation within the Asian American community, which right now we have no foundation.